state your rank, name, company, and billet?
My name is Staff Sergeant Besteiro, Weapons Company, Platoon Sergeant for Cat White, 0369.
Now look at the camera, look at me.
Look at you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Explain the workup for the deployment and how you think it prepared you and your Marines.
I think the workup definitely allowed us the opportunity to experience what the operational tempo was going to be like for us here. Prepared us for that, because if you were around for the workup, there were times when you're getting home like 2000, 2100, stuff like that. So definitely got the Marines ready for that sort of dedication to the hours that you had. A lot of good training going through EMV stuff like, and MRX.
What are your thoughts about being in Sangin?
I think we're doing good stuff here as far as being in Sangin. I think that you don't normally see it on a day-to-day basis as far as the second and third order effects of what it is, going out and doing OPs, going out doing security patrols. But then you sit in on these meetings and Lima Company, India Company, all slapping you on the back saying, hey man, thanks for being out there, thanks for doing what you're doing, because we're seeing it in our AOs, things are getting quieter, stuff like that. So it's not a direct way, but it ends up paying up in the long run.
How has your experience been this deployment?
My experience with this deployment been pretty good. Being a platoon sergeant for CAT's been it's an interesting experience. Growing up with LAR and then going to schoolhouses and stuff like that. You understand all the pieces of it. It's just that it's pretty extensive. Well, we've got a whole lot of different missions that is not traditional to the CAT doctrine per se. So there's been some pretty steep learning curves, but we've been able to do a pretty good job as far as accommodating those and getting the mission done.
How is Sangin different from when you've been at before?
Well, this is my first time. Sangin is my first time in Afghanistan. So 4 combat tours for Iraq previously, and this is my 5th one. It's definitely a little bit more third world, you could say, than seeing there. You got in Iraq, by contrast, there's that infrastructure and stuff like that, and people are, for the most part, not all farmers or sheep herders or poppy farmers. So when you come down here and you look at just how poverty-stricken it is, it's kind of an eye-opener. And then all the previous deployers talking about how their experiences during 2010. How Sangin was like the hottest place on the face of the planet at the time, and then you come down and it's still hot. Don't get me wrong, all the IEDs that we've hit and that we found, but
yeah, I'm just gonna dump my shit over there and just bring my shit back.
Yeah, I just completely forgot where I was going with that. So cool.
Explain the IED threat and how we overcome it.
Well, the IED threat out here in Sangin is extensive. I'll just leave it at that. Originally, we trained for certain TTPs. The intelligence has been good about how the enemy have been placing IEDs and things of that nature. So we're able to combat that through aggressive route selection as far as being a weapons company, identifying through the assets that we have, the Saber system, stuff like that, as far as emplacers and possibles and so on and so forth. But just like any other fight, after you fight somebody for so long, they're going to grow. And now with our operational tempo being as high as it is, they've started to shift towards that hasty thing, which is good for us because it makes it easier to see. So I think originally coming in, they expected it to be like another battalion that we had ripped out with, but kind of brought the fight back to them, and now their backs against the wall, sort of, you could say, with the IED emplacement.
Explain the coin piece that weapons company does, CAT team does.
The coin for weapons company, especially for the CAT, is interesting. It's always at the forefront of everybody's mind, especially our dismounts. You can take, for example, when we last year, or the 2010 deployment back to Afghanistan, everybody was talking about how kinetic it was. Coin was something you carried in your pocket, not something you did on a day-to-day basis. And then to get here, all of my veterans now have to get completely reoriented to understanding the needs of the people and seeing what they can do to them in order to transition, in order to get the heck out of this country, and basically set them up for success. So at times you see them saying that coin is a waste of time, but I think in the long run, coin is going to be the only way we can get out of this war, and with the victory.
Explain how you feel about the locals and how you interact with them.
My interaction with the locals has been positive. I think it's just part of the Afghan code. They're going to come in, they're going to welcome you as warmly as they can, even if they don't support you. I mean, you might get chai. You've got guys that are sheep farmers and wheat and poppy farmers who make like $3,000 a year, who are sharing everything that they have with you, just because you're their guest and they're gonna treat you right. It speaks a lot for the kind of people that they are. But
what's your most memorable moment this deployment?
My most memorable moment this deployment would have to be blowing up both of my 6.5s, even in 2 days. So that's probably my most memorable moment so far.
What's the hardest part of the daily struggle you or your Marines have that deployment?
The hardest part, I would say daily, as far as my boys or myself, is just being flexible enough to meet the operational demands. Just shortages from equipment, shortages from personnel due to enemy action or otherwise, or just gear wearing down. So many holes are getting basically like a little Dutch boy. You got so many holes in the dam, you kind of run out of fingers, but we still managed to get the thing done. It's just the adaptation process can be a little bit rough.
Have you guys worked with the ANA and stuff?
Yes, yeah.
Well, explain how you feel about working with them alongside.
Yeah, as far as working with the ANA, as far as working with ANCOP and Staff Forces, initially when you come in and we had done our RIP with 1.5, everybody gives you the worst of the worst. It's like, hey, these guys are garbage. Don't do this. Don't do that. The ANCOP, in my professional opinion, are a good police force. You know what I'm saying? They interact with the locals well, and all the locals are proud to see that the Afghans are doing their job to keep their country secure. But they're just that, they're a police force. When they had done the RIP with the 4th Tole who were working with us, it was like night and day. You've got the ANCOP who are pretty professional service, and then the ANA coming in, running around, they're hustling, they're doing everything. They cleaned up everything that we had when we were down in Chickaw, cleaned up the entire ANCOP living area, and just, you can tell that, yes, they're ANA, and compared to a United States Marine, it's like apples and oranges, right? But compared to another Afghan force, I think that the Army is definitely the top dog around here. So it's been good so far working with them.
What do you or your Marines do on their downtime when you're bored?
My Marines on their downtime will watch movies. They will work out. They will do various things that Marines like to do behind closed doors. I'm a staff NCO. I don't have downtime, just so you know. But occasionally I do get to read and I get to work out, so that's a good time.
Describe the weather conditions.
Initially, the weather conditions were a little bit warmer than they are right now. Catching that last bit of that summer heat, you know what I'm saying? Then it got cold, then it got real damn cold. Walking outside, checking on the posts for the Marines, and you'll see frozen puddles on the ground. It can get pretty bitter. And then now it's getting not too bad. Of course, we're leaving, so Go figure.
Since we're coming to the end of deployment, how do you think the deployment went?
Overall, I think this deployment has been positive. I think as our original mission, and come in here and to begin the transition process, to fall in on that transition process, I think we've definitely progressed that along to the point where the Afghan National Army and COP can start to take over positions like they've already done up north and around. I think that well, no, I just lost my train of thought there again, so okay.
Describe the camaraderie between CAT.
Between the CAT platoons?
Between, I don't know, weapons company, like your Marines.
Okay. The camaraderie between weapons company. What we had to do as a result of changing our mission set was that CAT, originally it was CAT White and CAT Red. We became one giant CAT platoon, which turns out is really just a TO CAT platoon since we've been so downsized. But there was a lot of competitive nature between the two CATs. Everybody wants to say that the other platoon's booger and the other, and you're the greatest thing ever. So, but since working together and mixing and matching all the personalities, I think we've grown definitely stronger overall. Now, as far as second platoon, they're still booger.
And how do you feel about being part of 3-7?
Well, I think that being part of 3-7, it takes a special kind of Marine. You got to be willing to put in the hard hours and be willing to do without a lot of the niceties. But at the end of the day, it makes you a better Marine, makes you a harder Marine for it. If we can get the same mission accomplished with limited amount of support, limited amount of gear, well then we're all the better for it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have any final thoughts?
Just happy to be going home.
That's that.
All right, man. There's your little microphone.